Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to Friendship Shaving. I hope you're well. This week I thought I'd talk about straight razors a little bit, and I'm going to be shaving with my Henckels full hollow ground 5/8 razor. Something has happened to this razor since I last used it, and I'll explain more as we go along. Going to be using my Rubberset 203 with the Tuxedo knot. I'm just going to pop that straight into some water, and I've also got my very last little bit of my TFS Zhongfeng sample of BFF, Best Friend Forever, and I've got that squashed into a little bowl, and I've had some water on it for 5 minutes, so I'll just rub that straight onto my face and we'll be able to get going. You can see that my goatee is coming along, or my round beard as it's called, is coming along very nicely. I have had a little bit of discomfort with it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see, but right on the chin there, it's been very red and very lumpy under the hair there, which I haven't had on the rest of the growth, so it's been a little bit uncomfortable there. But I'm sticking with it and trying to get past that discomfort. It is easing a little bit, so hopefully it will continue to be a little bit easier. Now I'm just going to shake my brush and get that straight onto my soap. I do really enjoy this TFS soap, BFF. It's a beautiful sweet smelling soap that I enjoy very much. As I said, I've only had a sample, so perhaps I should look out and get some more. What a week I've had. Got a very late shave today. I'm very tired. Not feeling so good. So I do hope you're having a good week. There we are. Got plenty of soap on my brush. And we'll start putting that on. Do you know, I forget how much I like this brush. I have the impression that the Tuxedo knot is a little soft, but despite that, every time I use it, I do really enjoy it. It's a strange thing. Just add a drop more water. Well, while I'm doing this, I'll explain that when I first got into using this straight razor, and you can see the first video that I recorded using a straight razor, I was very excited and also a little bit scared. I've come quite a way since then, but everybody sort of asks when they're new, you know, is there a straight razor for a beginner? And the advice that I was offered was to get a 5/8 half hollow ground razor, which would be halfway between a full wedge and a full hollow ground razor, and then 5/8 you could decide whether you wanted to go a bit bigger or a bit smaller with the size of the blade. Now, I thought at the time, and I still think, that that was pretty good advice, but I completely ignored it and just went with a razor that I could afford and that I liked the look of. And that's the razor that I'm going to be using today. It was the Henckels Square Point full hollow ground razor. I find it very difficult to use, so much so that I just about gave up on shaving with a straight razor until I got my Joseph Rogers Nia wedge razor. And I found the difference between the two, as I've said in previous videos, to be night and day. The Nia wedge is a much heavier blade, and I found that that really helped me in my shave. And I was going to sell my Henckels, but I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to use it for one last time. And so I took it out and used it, and in that time of using my Joseph Rogers and practicing my technique with the Nia wedge razor, I suddenly found that I could shave with this, and I got a really good shave. So in actual fact, there was nothing much wrong with the razor at all. It was more my technique with the razor. And over the last year, it has improved, even though I wasn't using this razor. This razor is very light compared to my Joseph Rogers razor. With being a full hollow grind, it takes a lot of the metal out of the blade, and you can really feel the difference in the weight of the razor when you use it. I better put my glasses on again so I can see what I'm doing. There we are, that's better. A full hollow grind has a very thin and flexible blade. And as you can hear, it gives a lot of auditory feedback. Now the hard bit. I find about growing a goatee is making sure that I don't cut off what I've already grown. I'm about 2 weeks into this now. I feel it's going quite well. As I said last week, I've never had a beard before, ever. This is a whole new experience for me. I find, and I'm sure you guys are the same if you shave with a straight razor, I find it incredibly rewarding. Really very rewarding indeed. And if you're considering learning to shave with a straight razor, I would really recommend it. You will cut yourself. I think that's a given. But if you concentrate and do your best, those cuts will be kept to a minimum. I would recommend that if you are going to get a square tipped or square end to a razor, that you have it muted slightly, and I'll show you more of that in a moment. The very tip of mine has just been softened or muted, just to make sure that the very end doesn't get under a fold of skin and slice my face while I'm concentrating on another part of the blade. I think that has really helped me. I found that the more I use the razor, the more proficient I've become, and the more enjoyable the shave has become, and the more I've wanted to use a straight razor. And in fact, I've just spent £180 on 2 more straight razors. I've got a Wade and Butcher on order, and also a Derval Bismarck straight razor. They are both 6/8, so they will be bigger than this one. And just to show you the difference, this is my 5/8 razor, and this is a 6/8 razor. If I can hold it properly, they are quite a little bit bigger. So I'm looking forward to getting those. They are, if I can talk about such things at this stage, they are my Christmas presents to myself. I think one of the best pieces of advice I could give anybody looking to start using a straight razor is to get on the forums and get to know somebody that hones and restores straight razors on the forums. Those people are usually well thought of. They've usually been doing it for a very long time and they usually know what they're about. And I am very lucky to know a terrific guy called Dean. That restores straights. And does a fantastic job, and I'm learning to be very careful when you buy from the internet. You don't always get what you think you're going to get. Give you a little example of that in a moment. I've learnt to stick with Dean because I know what I'm going to get. His razors are very well restored, but on the blade he always leaves a little hint of the age of the razor. He doesn't like to take very much metal off when he's restoring a blade, and I think that's a good thing. It's what I like. I'm just going to remove my glasses and get up under here. I had some good advice recently. Going against the grain on my neck here. I'm trying to keep my elbow locked in quite nicely. Not tight, just relaxed, you know. But I'm also trying to use my hand here just to change the angle of the blade as it moves up and around my neck. I'm finding my goatee gets in the way a little bit of my shaving routine. I can't quite shave the way I used to, and it's taken me a little while to get used to it. Let me show you. I bought a George Butler razor recently. Here it is. And if I can show you the blade, there we go. I don't know if you can see very well along here. It looks like reflected light, but actually there is hone damage along there. On the blade it says, let me hold it closely so you can maybe see it a bit better, keen as is this razor's edge, invisible. Shakespeare from Love's Labour's Lost. Now there is a big debate if you look on the forums and online about straight razors. Some people believe that they shouldn't be honed with a piece of tape over the shoulder to protect the shoulder, and some people believe that they should be. I would say that I was reading a gentleman's comments the other day who has been honing and restoring razors for 10 years, Glenn, on the Shave Den forum, and he said that over the years, over 10 years, he's never had to repair a razor where people have used tape when they've honed the razor, but he has been asked to repair thousands of razors where people haven't used tape and there is hone damage to the top end of the razor. It's often because people put too much pressure on the blade as they hone, but a little bit of tape I feel would protect the razor. And I feel that when there is hone damage to the blade, it really spoils the aesthetics of the blade, and you know, that's something I look for, an undamaged blade, one with a slight smile to the face, or to the cutting edge rather, as you can see. You know, you want your razor to look nice. And I know there are razors with hone damage and they're very good razors, but I don't like them. That's my personal opinion. This bit, I could do with going in that direction sometimes, and I can't quite work out how to do that with a straight razor. Maybe another day, eh? I've learned a lot about stropping in the last year of having and using a straight razor. The first straight razor I used was one I borrowed from Dean. And it's fair to say that although I watched a lot of videos, on how to strop a straight razor, the experience you get is only really gained by doing it. And that first razor, I turned the edge, and it's very easy to do. By using the wrong technique, by using too much pressure. And if I can get the camera set up or my iPad mini set up in the right position near my strop over the weekend, I will try and do a little video, because I've learned a couple of things about stropping that I've not heard anybody else mention, so I kind of feel that, you know, those things would have been useful to me, and maybe if I put them out there, somebody might find them to be useful. So that is my shape. As I say, I could really do with going up there, but I don't quite know how to get the straight into that. It's a bit of a... Let me just try and do it, because there's plenty of residual slickness on this soap. I'll just use the back side of the blade. I could do with going that way. Well, let's try it. Let's just do that. No, that's not right. This is something I'm going to have to experiment with, perhaps that way. No, not going to worry about it. I would say that I'm being quite picky there, and actually I've got quite a decent shave, and I always do with a straight razor, but I have got a long way to go. I have found it to have been a very steep but very enjoyable learning curve, and as I say, I'm still learning, even though I've been doing these videos for a year and I've shaved with a straight razor quite a few times. I typically shave twice a week with my straight. Once on a weekend and maybe one other day. But I would say that if you're in a hurry on a morning, don't. Unless you know what you're doing. If you're learning like I am, just take your time, go and lock yourself in the bathroom. Make sure the door's locked, because you don't want anyone coming in while you're just on a bit where you're concentrating. So that, gents, is my shave for today. With a straight razor that, well, I didn't think I'd use again. And I've been delighted to find that I actually can use it. I can't tell you, I had such difficulties with that razor. But it's all come good in the end. Technique is king. And I've used my Proraso green, which I like just because it's very fresh and nice. My BFF soap from Chung Fung Sing, the last of my sample. I'd love to get a tub of that stuff because it's beautiful. And the star of the show, which I'm going to clean within an inch of its life, is the Henckels Square Point 5/8 straight razor. You take care of yourselves now. Have a good week. Look after yourselves. All the best now. Bye bye.